All right, everybody. Thank you all for coming out tonight. We love the size of the crowd that came. We love all the passion you all are having tonight for the AI. Well, I'm going to say, hi, I'm Nicholas. I'm the president of AI at UCF, and I wanted to welcome you tonight to our club meeting. Tonight, we're just going to go over a bit of news about what AI is looking like today in modern times. Then we're going to go over some of the club leadership and how we run things. We're then going to go over our upcoming events and announcements for the upcoming semester, and then we'll just recap over everything we covered tonight. So first, to talk about the news. If y'all haven't been paying attention, there is now a new OpenAI competitor out of China called DeepSeek. They released a new model called R1 that is able to compete against OpenAI's O1 benchmarks, but is cheaper, faster, and open source. So massive deal right now. You basically now have what OpenAI was offering, but in some sense for free, or for at least very cheap if you don't want to run it yourself. This has caused more than a bit of a small scare on this side of the ocean. It caused, the day it came out in NVIDIA stock to drop 17%. It came back, don't worry, in case you're worried about your investments. And then they've been releasing a bunch of papers showing that they are, instead of doing just normal training like you would normally do, just train on text, they train it in what is called reinforcement learning, where it will try everything, and then there's a way it benchmarks itself on how good it did to perform even better. But there's also a lot of bad news about DeepSeek before you all start getting really passionate about it. It's already been shown that the web platform for you to use it for free tends to censor around topics that are sensitive to the Chinese government. And then also for the web services in the back end of that, there have been cyber attacks and then DDoS attacks from unknown individuals. And then the database that was storing all the user information was apparently publicly leaking out information. And finally, there was a recent report out of the University of Washington that showed that DeepSeek's R1 model had a 100% success rate in jailbreaking, which is basically trying to get it to act maliciously, like, for example, trying to make it say slurs. You don't want it to do that, but they were able to do every trick possible for that. So great model, but it seems to be a little not ready for the public market. On our side of the ocean, Donald Trump, our president, has decided to promise $500 billion in investment for AI infrastructure in a new private venture called Stargate, which is a joint venture between OpenAI, Oracle, SoftBank, and an AI investment firm from Dubai called MGX. They are promising to build 20 AI data centers around the US with an initial $100 billion investment to get them built. And they're planning on currently expanding that up to $500 billion in 2029. They're currently building 10 of these data centers in Abilene, Texas. And the big name that they're trying to call this is that this is going to be as big as the Manhattan Project, which I think is rather interesting. And there's a lot of movement right now to expedite this development, especially in terms of the energy infrastructure. So there's a lot of work in the area to adapt and build up the energy grid to be able to support these, because if y'all aren't familiar, AI and all that takes a lot of energy to run, even more than like a normal data center. So there's also work being done right now by our government. In terms of stuff we may be interested in is that OpenAI has released a new tool called Deep Research. The idea for this tool is basically it can help you conduct and answer research questions in a much more in-depth fashion than previously with our 4.0 model. They say it can perform multifaceted, domain-specific research in tens of minutes compared to the tens of hours it could take a normal person. And as you can see here in the video, it goes through a very multi-step process, scouring across the entire internet to try and build up its understanding and knowledge to be able to answer your question. Right now, it's only available to pro paying users, but it should be releasing out to the Plus and Teams users in the near future. They did not report on releasing this for free for everybody. So if you do want to use this feature, you're going to have to pay for a subscription to OpenAI. In terms of regulation, the EU has finally started to enact their EU AI Act. If you were here last fall, we talked about them passing this law to start restricting AI that they think has unacceptable risk to it. And that finally went into effect February 2nd. This bans AI that do a number of different things, mainly like social scoring, trying to do personal or social manipulation, cough, cough, social media, try to exploit vulnerable statuses like your age or disability or your socioeconomic status, and then try and do social profiling based on like what you look like or your skills.
What's social scoring?
Social scoring, it basically, in a fashion, it's a way of measuring, I don't want to say your worth to the society, but like it's a score that the government generates about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like social credit. I just didn't want to say that because I don't look up. It's the closest equivalent we have to that is your credit card score, but that's different. But it's in some vague sense similar. It's scoring you on a social sense. But any companies that are found to be violating this law are going to be fined either 35 million pounds or 7% of their annual revenue from the last year, whichever is greater. So it's interesting that while China and the US are racing to expand their AI developments as fast as possible, the EU is trying to do a whole lot more regulation and making sure that these AI systems are safe and ethical for human use. In terms of the science space beyond chatbots and all that, Microsoft has released a new model called MatterGen to improve material sciences research. What it does is that it uses diffusion, which is like the AI image generation, the AI art. It's similar like that, but instead of inputting a text description to generate an image, you instead put in the desired physical, chemical properties as such that to generate a molecule. And it's much faster and more productive than traditional screening approaches where they generate a wide variety of potential molecules and then test them for the properties. And it was shown to be 3 times more effective than previous generative models in the family. And this has massive potential impacts because it could be in material sciences or battery development with lithium ion or new ways of developing solar panels or new molecule to help with CO2 scrubbing for climate change or semiconductor design. So not only is AI right now being used for chatbots and a government arms race of sorts, it's actually being used to be helpful in science.
Right. So our mission in the AI at UCF is to foster a hotspot for the next generation of intelligence researchers and engineers at UCF. Basically, we just want to make sure that you guys really understand what AI is and how you can use it in your day-to-day life and how you can get more into it and into the field. And to go a little bit more into our exec board, I think Nick already introduced himself. He's the president. My name is Shri. I'm the vice president. Kush isn't here right now, but he's our treasurer.
My name's Abhi, secretary.
And then we have Nick again, who's our core workshop director, which we'll go over in a little bit. And then
I'm Sanjana. I do the GBM meetings. I hold all that.
I'm Jose. I do the discussions meetings.
I'm Garv, I lead the project.
and these are our wonderful coordinators: Joey, Lucia, Hima, Ditya, Anthony, Francisco, Jatin, Patrick, Alejandro, Ian, Victoria, and Abhinav. All of them are, going to be helping us out this semester. And if you see like these directors up here, if you see the coordinator, or if you see other people like up at the stage with them, then they're like helping out either in some way with the slides or just like presenting. And I just want to get this clear for everyone that AI at UCF is free. We don't have any membership dues because part of our mission is really to make sure that we have all of that information to you guys like easily accessible, and you guys don't have to pay for it. It isn't a trouble to get to it.
Okay, so for the t-shirts right now, we should hopefully be ready to sell them at our next GBM. We're still waiting for the university to get back with us so that we can get our banking card.
Yeah. basically we're just waiting on the university right now, but we'll have them soon. And so this is the structure of our club. The first thing is GBMs, which is the general body meetings. Those are basically like current topics in AI, talking about whatever updates are currently happening, like what Nick was talking about. But that's also where we have guest speakers who kind of come in and will talk about what they're doing with AI, how they're leveraging it in their company. And, it's a good chance to network with them and to kind of maybe get an in with them, get an internship. Then we have discussions, which are research-based meetings. So Jose, who's the discussions director, will be going over like just research papers that are either really relevant to the field or just current papers that are coming out. And those are super helpful if you want to get into academia, if you want to get into research. It's crucial that you know how to read a research paper and you know how to break it down and really understand it. So that's definitely a super good meeting to go to. Then core is going to be the meeting that Nick is heading. How many of you guys are freshmen or don't have any experience with AI? So a good handful of you. Yeah. This is going to be the meeting you want to go to. This is basically like hands-on coding experience with machine learning libraries like TensorFlow and PyTorch and things like that. And it's going to be really helpful for getting practical experience of how to actually use these libraries and frameworks in different settings. And then finally projects, which is group-based. So this is like practical. I'm sure like if you guys are in other CS or whatever related groups, you guys have this. It's basically just actual experience with projects that are run by other students. And we'll have a project submission form at the end of this meeting that you guys can fill out, like scanning QR code and fill it out. If you have any ideas or pitches for projects you want to do, this is for that. And it's really helpful. And I think that me and like a couple of others on the board have been in projects in previous semesters and years, and it's been super helpful for getting like that experience. And it's a really good resume boost too, if it goes somewhere.
Yeah, so this is a general body meeting. So this is basically for beginners, anyone who wants to come out and learn about AI, kind of a general overview without getting to the technical details. And we also have a bunch of guest speakers. We're planning on getting Next Era to come in for the next GBM. So you can talk to them. It's a good opportunity to learn about how they use AI in industry and practically use it. So yeah, it's usually on the first Wednesday of every month, and we're still deciding on the rooms. So once that's decided, we'll put out an announcement soon.
So like Shri said, the discussions meetings are about talking about recent research papers, or maybe not recent, depending on what we take interest in. So each meeting is going to be a different paper. I'll try to send out links to the papers beforehand in case you guys want to familiarize yourself with it before. If you do, then you can add the discussions role on the Discord so that I can notify you. But I'll also be summarizing the papers during the meeting, and then we can discuss as we go. So the first meeting is going to be next week on DeepSeek R1. So if you guys want to read about it, you can easily look that up. I'll also send out a presentation about how to read research papers. In case it's your first time, it might help out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you're interested in like what's going on right now in the field or being exposed to like new algorithms, things like that, there's a pretty good way of doing that.
Core meeting. So core is our workshop series. We're basically going to be teaching you how to make and use AI in the real world. This is going to be our hands-on workshop where we're actually getting you to code and develop your own AI programs. And you're going to learn how, when, and why to use AI in your projects, because sometimes it's very helpful to use it, and sometimes it's better to use traditional programming. And every meeting, every workshop, you're going to learn something new about AI that will build off what you learned last. And this is great for both beginners who have done no work on AI at all and would love to learn, or experienced developers who would like just a refresh on their foundation. Because I know, at least for me, I will sometimes get a little rusty on my foundations when I get focused on some specific project. And so these are bi-weeklies on Wednesdays and Thursdays, either at 5:30 to 7:30 at the Teaching Academy Room 203, or from 6 to 7:50 at Engineering Building 1, Room 224. And so,
Sorry. So The only reason the rooms and the time might be different is because the university gave us like alternating rooms and times for some reason, but we'll definitely send out an announcement ahead of the meeting, like where it will be that following week. So don't worry about that.
So, our first workshop that we're going to be having is Machine Learning 101. So if you're brand new to AI and machine learning, this is the one for you. We're basically going to be going over what AI is and what machine learning is and basically how it actually works. And then we're also going to be going over like the best tools and practices for actually doing modern machine learning development. And at the end of the workshop, we're going to have you make your own ever AI model. And this is completely open to all majors, completely beginning friendly, whether you're CS, CPE, data science, IT, communications major, anyone can come. And so that's going to be on Wednesday, February 19th from 6 to 7:50 p.m. at Engineering 1224 currently. We're currently trying to work to find a better room and time for this. So if we do have any updates on that, please check on the Discord server that we will be linking to in a minute.
So the project section is a more hands-on learning. So you learn AI and ML, and then you can put them on your resume, your portfolio to show to recruiters. It's both beginner and advanced friendly, so anyone can really join. The one thing if you do want to join is there's channels for each of the teams. I would go ahead and join those channels and then just send a quick message like, hey, I want to join, what do I do? And then someone's going to get back to you. We are also going to have a QR code come up there later. So if you have a project that you want to work on that's not there, you can always pitch it. So these are some of the previous projects that we've done through the club. So Team Multimedia is like, it's a recommendation engine that recommends you different types of media. So let's say that I'm watching a video, right? It's going to recommend you different videos. But through multimedia, it could recommend you a book that's similar or an article that's similar, something like that. Pala AI, they fine-tuned, I believe, Stable Diffusion and then created new models out of it. They also created a web application which generates images using text and then image prompts. The write to text reads and then converts the like difficult to read handwriting into actual text. So that's the previous projects that we've had before. These are some of the current projects. So a bunch of these started in fall 2024. The Smash AI is led by one of our current alums. And what it is they're trying to build a computer or a CPU for Smash Ultimate, and they're trying to make it so it plays like a human. So they're using probabilistic programming to kind of mimic human decision making and the randomness in it. The Kanjo AI is like an emotion tracker, so it tracks your emotions. You can automate it to do certain tasks, and then it also gives you statistics. So let's say that I'm playing a game, so it's mostly around a game. So let's say I'm incredibly focused on a game, it would start recording me, and then it would give you statistics based on it. So it could tell you like when I was the most frustrated or how did my emotions fluctuate through it. These are two other projects that we have. So Project Kestrel is partnered with ACM, and then it's not up there, but it's Charging Nights. So it's like a drone project, which is automated to automatically follow you and record you. So someone doesn't have to do it manually. They have 3 teams. It's sensor systems, a flight design, and a real-time computer vision team. So I would definitely contact them. And they do a little bit of hardware and software, so whatever you're kind of interested in. Team Cajun is kind of in their testing phase, and it's an AI automated creative performance kind of thing. So what they're doing is they're using AI to generate audio and video. So DJs and VJs can kind of create like a better EDM experience. So this is the QR code I was talking about. So if any of you guys have an idea that you guys want to pitch, I would definitely scan that and then send that in. It's due February 14th.
Yeah. So we're going to be having having a presentation meeting in a couple weeks. So if you want to be there for the presentation meeting to present your project, that's when the due date is. But you don't have to wait. You can still submit any projects after February 14th if you want to start a project afterwards. Conjo AI started after our last presentation in the fall. So if you have an AI, just bring it up afterwards. You just won't. But if you want to be available for the project presentation meeting, you have to turn it in by February 14th.
Right. And then if you ever want to reach out to someone, I would just go to the Discord and then reach out to a coordinator or a director.
Alrighty, so this is something new we have this semester. It's a mentorship program. The whole goal of this kind of mentor-mentee program is to connect those who want to be a mentee with mentors who've kind of gone through the whole like AI. Maybe if you want to do research, there might be some mentors who have done research and can advise you on what to do, what skills you want to build. If you want to look into more, I don't know, career advice, you can get paired up with a mentor who has probably maybe there's an alumni that got a job in AI and you want to go down that path. Basically, we facilitate mentee mentor connection, and then it's up to you guys to actually facilitate that connection and try to build something there and create opportunities. If you want to be a mentor and help out the youngins around here, scan that QR code and yeah, there'll be some fields you want to fill out just for when you're available, what your interests are and stuff like that. Mentee, if you want to be mentored and get cracked, that's the QR code right there. But yeah, this is a new thing. We'll see how it goes, but I'm excited. All right.
Yeah, also, please join our Discord server. This is where the central hub of everything about AI at UCF goes on. This is going to be the best place to hear about club news and upcoming events. We also have a bunch of special resources on the Discord server that can help you advance your careers. We have a channel specifically for posting daily AI, machine learning, and data science internship listings. And when I do mean daily, I mean daily. Like, we post them every day, the day the listings come out. So if you're looking to like get ahead on getting an internship, that would be great for you. We also have a channel for showing about university workshops, REUs, and local startups hiring. So if you're looking for an alternative career path or just some personal development that the university is hosting, that's also great. And then we also have some free AI and machine learning educational resources for you in case you want to start learning about AI on your own time, but don't know where to start. You can also chat with other current members and some of our alumni. Our alumni at the club are very active still. Even our founder, who graduated 5 years ago, is still actively talking in the Discord server. So if you want to get a lot of connections with very experienced AI developers and researchers, this is the great place to do it. So I'll just give you all a second to scan the Discord link if you haven't already. Also, we always need some more help. We are always looking for new coordinators to help us with the running of the club. Coordinators are helpful, help us directors and e-board with making meeting content, presentations, coming up with ideas, and then also maintaining the services and platforms we advertise on, such as our Discord and our Instagram. And you also help us like review the tools and materials we make for our workshops, like our Jupyter notebooks, and you all help host in-person fun meetups like this. So we're always just looking for new recruiters. You can either go to ucfai.org/apply or scan this Discord or scan this QR code link if you wish to apply.
So just to recap, core is going to be bi-weekly on Wednesdays or Thursdays, and at either 5:30, 7:30 p.m. in TA 203 or 6 to 7:50 in engineering 1 224. We'll communicate that ahead of time so it's not confusing to anyone. Our GBMs are going to be monthly on the first Wednesday of every month at 6 to 7:50 p.m. in engineering 1 224. That's probably going to stay the same except for this upcoming GBM. We are going to do it a little bit, or we're going to try to get a room a little bit earlier for next era. And then discussions is going to be weekly on Fridays from 12:30 to 3:20 p.m. in VAB 107. If you don't know what that is, it's the Visual Arts Building. I don't think I've ever stepped foot there before, so if you guys have a little bit of difficulty, don't feel bad about it. And then our first core workshop is going to be February 19th. We're hoping we can get it a little bit earlier. We're going to try to see if we can get a room for a little bit earlier. But tentatively February 19th from 6 to 7:15, engineering 1 224. Discussion meeting number 1 that Jose is going to host is going to be February 7th, 12:30
February
to.
14th, actually, we got that.
Oh, sorry, yeah, February 14th, from 12:30 to 3:20 in VAB 107. That schedule is going to be pretty consistent. The discussions meetings are usually going to be every Friday. And then our second GBM, like I said, is going to be March 5th. the room is probably, we're gonna see if we can do engineering 1, 2, 2, 4, but we're gonna try to get an earlier time just because we want Next Era to be able to speak, and they kind of need us to accommodate them to be during working hours. By the way, if you guys don't know what Next Era is, they're like the largest renewable energy company in the world. So they're pretty cool, and they have like a really large AI division. So definitely come out to that if you can. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you all.
If you haven't joined the Discord, or if you guys haven't followed us on Instagram, please do so. I think our link tree has everything that you need.
Thank you all for coming. If y'all have any questions, just come up and speak with one of us. We can answer.